Hello, I'm Jagan from Grow with Data. Welcome to the Crack SQL Interview in 50 question series. In this video series, we'll practice 50 SQL questions across various topics. You can use the playlist Crack SQL Interview in 50 questions to follow the videos related to this series. For each video in this series, you can find the related code on my GitHub. Feel free to explore the code and provide any feedback in the comment section. If you log into the YouTube channel, Grow with Data, you have the playlist section where you can see Crack SQL Interview in 50 questions. When you click on that link, it takes you to the video and you have all the videos related to that series. If you want to see the code, then you go to the description part. In that you have the code link. If you click on the GitHub, it takes you to the GitHub page where you have the create script and the select statement used in the video. We also have the WhatsApp channel. If you log into the WhatsApp channel, then you will get all the posts faster when I upload in the YouTube channel. Now fine. Now let's dive into the 14th video of the series. In this video, we are going to continue with the basic joins. Let's see the data set and we can talk about the question in detail. Let's create the table. So we are given two tables, signups and confirmation. We are asked to find the confirmation rate of every user. This is basically a user signs up to the application or website. When they sign in, they'll ask for this confirmation message like OTP to your mobile number, right? And the user log in with the OTP, then their login will be confirmed. So there are some users who request for the OTP, but they don't use it. They might forget to log in or they might went out, right? So those OTPs will be timed out. There are some users who log into the web page or the system and they don't ask for the OTP. So they don't have any entries to the confirmation. For example, if you see here, the user 3 who signed up to the system at 2020, March 21st, got two requests on Jan 6th and July 14th. Both the requests got timed out. So user haven't logged into the system. If you see the user 7, he signed in at 2020 Jan 4th and he got 3 requests, right? Got 3 requests and all the 3 are confirmed, right? And for user 2, he got 2 requests and 1 request got confirmed and another request got timed out. And user 6 don't even have any request. So what we have to do is we have to find the confirmation rate. So what is the confirmation rate? It's the number of confirmed requests by total request, right? So that is the confirmation rate. So for user 3, all the 2 requests are timed out. That means the confirmation rate is 0 by 2. So it's 0. For user 6, there is no request at all. So the confirmation rate is 0. For user 2, there are 2 requests. One is confirmed, one is timed out. So it's 1 by 2, so 0.5. For user 7, 3 requests, all the 3 are confirmed. So 3 by 3. So 100% is the rate. So it's 1. 3 by 3 is 1. Okay. So this is what we need to bring in. So how will you do that? Let's start with commenting out the code. Okay. Let's see the general format. If I have two tables, and which join should I use? How will I connect the two tables? First thing is, what is the connection point between the two tables? The sign up has user ID and timestamp, and the confirmation table has user ID, timestamp and the action. So the connection point is user ID. So user 3 here, user 3 and user 6, but there is no user 6 here and we have to bring in even if there is no request. That means we have to use the left join, right? So we have to first decide which column is supposed to be used for connecting the tables. Second one is what type of join we have to use, right? Okay, now we are going to use signups is a primary table because all the users are in the signup table, and then we are going to use the left join for the confirmations, and the connection point is c dot user id equal to s dot user id. So what we have to look for? The primary table's user id, and let's see what will happen to the secondary table's user id, and then c dot action. Let's see what it brings up. So if you see here, the user id 3 got 2 requests, both are timed out. User id 7 got 3 requests, all 3 are confirmed. And user 2 got 2 requests, one is timed out, one is confirmed. And user 6 have no request at all. So we are getting all the users and the request. The main thing is the user 6, right? We are getting them. Great. Now we have to see how to track the confirmed and the non-confirmed part, the timed out ones. What we can use is the case statement. Case when c dot action equal to confirmed, then 1 else 0 end, as you can just say a dummy value. The confirmation rate is the final outcome you are looking for, but here if you see it, if it is timed out, the value is going to be 0. If it's confirmed, it's going to be 1, right? Okay. Now we want to find one more value, which is the confirmed by total numbers. Well, how will you find the total number? Count of c dot any column from the C. Now we see. Okay, since we used count, we have to use group by. So here, when you use group by, we can just say how many is the sum of confirmations, right? So how many are confirmations, how many are the user one? We can just remove this group by user IDs. So if we see user 3, all left join also have a user 3. The checkout confirmation table is also having user 3. So both the primary table, secondary table have user 3. Confirmation, there is 0. Instead of check, you can say confirm, right? CONF makes sense. So confirmation is 0, but the total request is 2. For 7, 3 is confirmed, 3 is total request. And for 2, only 1 is confirmed out of 2 requests. For 6, 0 confirmed and 0 request. So we got what is required. Now we have to find the ratio. Now if you want to find the ratio, it's confirmed count by total count, right? So we have 0 by 0. So when you divide 0 by 0, it's going to be infinite, right? It's divide by 0 is an error. So how will you handle it? Let's see what mysql do. So we just say user and we count the confirmation request by the total request, and when you run it, you just get for 6 you get null. It's 0 by 0, supposed to be 0, right? And we are getting a warning saying that dividing by 0 error, right? It's a give a warning, it's not failing the SQL, it's just giving you the warning. It's a good database. There are Oracle kind of database, if you put 0 by 0, it will throw you a error. I hope so. So you just have to handle it explicitly. We should not allow any calculation which we assume that there is a possibility of getting 0 in the denominator. Numerator 0 is acceptable, but in denominator you try to handle it explicitly, so there is no 0 into that value. How will you handle it? Let's see. We just say if statement, where is it? If we just say which one should be considered, c dot user id user c dot user id is null, right? That means if there is no request at all in the confirmation table, right, then we just say 0. If not, then you can do the calculation, the sum of whatever it is, right? We can just handle that as total. Let's see what happens. Now if you see the total, we address the total as 0 and is there is no divide by 0 error. What we are saying is, if the left join, right, the secondary table don't have the user id, for example number 6, they don't have the user id, better you go for 0, don't do any calculation. But if you have the user id, then you find how many is confirmed and divide that by the total request. Okay, it's a simple if statement to address the divide by 0 part of it. Okay, now the output, if you see the output, it's a 2 decimal places, right? They round up to 2 decimal, but here we have 4 digits. We can remove this user id, okay, and you can say group by, because we just need only the user id and this, and the column value you can say instead of total we say confirmation rate. It looks good, but only thing is we have to round up to 2 decimal. So round this to 2. Great. So all the values are matching with it. So only thing is order by. So looks like they order by confirmation rate and then by user id. So we just say order by 2, 1. 2 is the confirmation rate, 1 is the user id. So you get the same output with the order by. So the query is done. But when you see the code, it looks like a junk part of it, right? So we have the if statement and then you have the case statement. So it's kind of mixing up everything. If you want to have a clean or a easier format of it, you just continue with the if statement. Don't confuse with the case and if. So how will you convert the case statement with the if statement? Simple. The if statement is going to be if condition. If the condition, then yes part of it, else no part of it. So this is the if statement. That's what we did. If the user id is null, you just put 0. If not, you do the calculation, right? If yes part is this, no part is this. Same way, we can just take if bracket action is confirmed, then 1, else 0. No need for a end. We just close it. So we get the same result. Now if you see it, we don't have the case statement, we have only if statements, and it's very easy to follow. If you want to format it, you can format it in a better way and you can track the changes. So what we did, we start with the normal left join and then we see which column to join and then we see how you calculate the confirmation part, right? If the record is confirmed, consider only those and then you count with the user id part. And then you see if the user id is null, then put 0. If not, do the calculation to handle the divide by 0 error. And then we round up to 2 decimal places. And then we did if statement by replacing the case by the if condition to make sure we use only the if condition in the query for a better look and feel part of it. Fine. But one tip is when you use the left join, user id works fine because we have the joins here. Instead of user id, if you go for what is that column, action, right? Action also makes sense, right? Action also makes sense. But when you use the action, there will be aggregation error, right? So only full part of it basically is a aggregation error. So we just make sure when you use the secondary table, whatever the column you used in the joins, better use that so you don't get the aggregation error. Okay, great. So we started the left join and then the step-by-step process from the aggregation part, from the condition and then rounding up, and we just showed how to replace case with the if statement. Hope you like this video and thanks for watching.